Guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Emma. I'm just going to do a quick book haul today. I don't have heaps, but probably from the last 3 or 4 months. So let's get down to it. And we'll start off with Magical World by Eric Barrett. This has been out for a while. I've had it on my list for quite a while, and the other day I just thought, bite the bullet and go for it. I'm glad I did. It's beautiful images. This one reminds me a little bit of Harry Potter, that one. It's divided up into sections, so it's like they have like an ocean section, a city section, which is this section back here. Oh, that one. That one reminds me of Howl's Moving Castle. I love that movie. I think they have a sky. What's the other one? Yep, in the sky. So up in the clouds section. They also have in the forest section, which is this one here, in the woods. And then at the front is just the fantasy creatures. So all different fantasy creatures. So it is on Amazon paper, but I have found that Australian Amazon paper really does seem to be a little bit thicker than USA's Amazon paper. I've got a couple of books from USA Amazon, and they do seem to be quite a lot thinner. It's like more of a thinner, whereas this is actually quite thick. I don't mind this paper. It's not too bad. So there's that one. And then the next one I've got is Dark Dolls Special, Colouring Heaven magazine by Yuriko Shiro. The thing with this is I only bought this last week. I was wandering around the shops and I saw it in one of our news agencies. So I actually don't know if this is a new magazine or an older magazine. I don't know if I'm being blind, but I can't see what date it was published on. But over here in Australia, we do get the magazines quite a couple of months after. I don't usually buy them. I'm not usually too much of a fan of the illustrators they have, but I love this one. It's just these ones here. It's so cool. They're very dark images, but also very beautiful. Like, she looks so innocent, but it's quite a dark, and that it's just beautiful. Really gorgeous. And I did have a look up on Instagram, looked up on Yuriko Shiro's Instagram page, and the coloured images are really beautiful too. So I'll probably get some inspiration from her page, her Instagram page. But she does colour them in quite dark, but just absolutely beautiful. I cannot wait to get onto this one, and I would love to do a buddy with anyone that has this book. So if anyone's keen on doing a buddy colour with me, get me cracked into this book, let me know. So that's Dark Dolls Special. And then I've got this one, which is Mystica. And I have been looking everywhere for Illustrator and cannot find one anywhere. The only thing I can find is the publisher, which is Heron Books, but it's definitely not got any Illustrator on there. It's quite an odd book. It's got a really odd bunch of images. Half of them are, see, this is definitely not my cup of tea, nor is that. I'm not really into that Zentangle thing, but there is some, I love these. So these pages, which are like little trees and tree houses, and they're little dragons in them, and I absolutely love them. Oh, my little girl did a little bit of colouring in this one. See, I love this one too. It's very complicated, but they're not a fan of that. So I'd say I really like about 50% of this book, but the paper is just, it's like cardboard. It's really, really, really good paper, and because it's one-sided, I reckon it would go really well with some water medium. But definitely a lot of different types of images in there. I actually do like that one. It's quite cute. See, that's the type that I like. It's just like a little tree house, and I think that'd be really fun to colour in those ones. I'm looking forward to that. That one's beautiful too. So there's that one. And then the Shocking Horror Colouring Book by Juan Calais and Santiago Calais. I'm guessing they're related in some way. But this is a bit of spooky, gory book, which I love, really love. I love that sort of stuff. So it's actually quite thick too. It's got a lot of pages in there, which is really good. You can tell that there's two illustrators that have illustrated it. You can tell the difference in the illustrators, and I do like one of the illustrators better than the other, but the images are great, and they do all have that border, which I like sometimes, because I don't like leaving a background plain, and sometimes there's just too much background. I'll go through and show you some of them. I might actually do a full flip through on this one. What's back here? There is a lot of pages. That one's cool, all the hands coming out the door. Your worst nightmare. I like that one too. I do like a lot of them. Looks like Slender Man. It's very interesting. I like it. I could just imagine. Ooh, I could just imagine what I can do with it. So I'm looking forward to getting into that one as well. And the pages aren't too bad. They're not super thick, but they're not super thin like Amazon paper either. It's not too bad at all. And it's very smooth too. Okay, so that is that one. And then here we have something a little bit different. So I've been thinking about trying to find books that aren't colouring books as such, but can be coloured in. So usually kids' illustrated storybooks that are in black and white give room for you to add some colour. So I saw this one, The Curse of the Vampire Robot by Graham Base. And it's a book all about robots, but I love the pictures. Cute little robot characters. There's absolutely, I'll find this one picture that I'm looking forward to doing. This one here. Double page spread. Isn't it great? So amazing. The illustrations are fantastic. Really, really going to enjoy colouring this in. I have done a couple of just some tests at the back here to see what will work. It's really quite odd paper. It's not quite glossy. It's not quite matte. But it does have like a sheen to it. So I'm not actually sure how pencils will work on it, but I've tried quite a few things. The Inktense worked quite well. Watercolour was quite good. It didn't really seem to ruin the paper much. Watercolour might be good because it seems to have roughened the paper a bit, which might then help the pencils go on. Alcohol marker works. I don't actually think the alcohol marker, oh no, it did, it went through. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting into that one. Something a little bit different. I've got The Garden of Earthly Delights by Adriana Picker. So this one is something I would not normally buy, but I found it at a thrift store and it was only $5, so I could not pass it by. Brand new, not been coloured in at all. Still, all the images are, and it's nice and flat. It's not ruined at all. But I thought, because I do a lot of collaging in my colouring books, this has images in here that I would generally use for collaging. So like this type of thing I would cut out and then pop onto other pages. So I thought this would work really well because I could colour in my collage items. So I could colour in certain flowers from here, cut them out, and then pop them onto other pictures in other books. So I thought that's a little bit of a good idea, especially these. I could colour some of these in, cut them out, and then pop them into other images on other books. And that would work really well. But this book, I know this book's been out for quite a while. I actually have seen some really beautiful pictures coloured in it. I think I've seen Colouring with Maya has done a beautiful picture in this. I can't remember what it was, but I remember it's really nice. I think it might be, I'm not sure, but yep. So there's that one. Got this watercolour book, which is Watercolour with Me in the Forest. I know that it's by Dana Fox, and I know that she has another one out too called Watercolour with Me, but I'm not sure what it is, but it's something else. Not in the forest, it's something else. But it's such a great book. If you're not very, what's the word, like, if you're not confident in using your watercolours, this, which is me, this has got, it's like a bit of an educational book, and the paper, oh, it's amazing. It's that beautiful, really, really, really thick cold pressed watercolour paper. And it's divided into sections. So it's divided into wet on dry, wet on wet, painting fur, and ink and wash. And each of those sections is then divided. It starts on a first page and it will describe about how to do wet on dry process. And then it will also show you here how it's done, and you can do a little bit of an experiment on there and exercise. And then the next section of the book will be the actual images. So it's just the outline. I don't know if you can see that. It's just the outline of the images. But then on the other page, it's got a picture of those images that's been painted, the colours you will need to do the exact painting, and also the supplies. So it will say the type of brush, the size of brush, and then a quick walkthrough of how to do it. So it's really, really good. So it does that for every different section. So this here is the fur section. Gives you a rundown of how to do all different types of fur. So that's the front section. It's got the trying it. And then I think this is the wet on wet. Yep. And then at the back is the, oh, so cute, ink wash. So there's definitely lots of different things to colour in there. It's beautiful and thick, and that will keep me busy for a long time once I start that one. And the other watercolour book I got was the RHS Flowers, the Watercolour Art Pad by Rachel Petter-Smith. So the RHS stands for the Royal Horticultural Society, and it's really, really beautifully done, this book. So the two sides come out and they've got the images on there. The way this book works is it's got a little bit of introduction, a little bit of instructions on how to paint certain things. So you get past all these sections on how to paint, and then it will come to the flower gallery. These flowers are what is in the book. So these are the demonstrations or examples of the images already painted. And then further along in the book, they've got these images to paint yourself. But the really good thing is it actually has the full colour palette that they've used for each image, which is a great help. And they are beautiful images. So if you get through all these, then it goes into the art pad, which is this beautiful thick card-like watercolour paper. Very, very, very thick. And then it's got the images that you can paint. Nice thin lines, which I love because it means it doesn't pop through when you've finished it. And I'm really looking forward to this. I'm not a flower painting person, to be completely honest. I'm not a lover of the flower painting, colouring in. I do not have very many flower books, but I am looking forward to giving this a go because the sample images are so stunning. Hopefully, fingers crossed, might be able to produce something that looks even a little bit close to this. Would be amazing. Okay, so that's that one. And then the very last one is Circle of Life by Malapanimi Chatsipanaturi. Can't say that, sorry. And I know this is a super old one, but this once again was at a thrift store for $2. So I couldn't say no to $2. And there was a couple of images coloured in. just in the middle of the book here, and I've glued them. Not a very good job of gluing them. I'll have to redo it, but I've glued them together. Instead of cutting them out, so I always worry that if you cut them out along the line, sometimes it's connected to the pages at the back and then they'll start falling out. So I do find it easier just to glue the images together. I'm actually a shocker for that when I say I colour an image in, and you know how sometimes you colour an image in and you hate it? I just don't like looking at it. Some people will leave it in their books, but I can't leave it in my book, so I usually just like fold the next page and glue it together so I don't have to look at it anymore. But yeah, so these are, everyone's probably seen this a million times, but oh, this one. And I have seen so many beautiful images coloured in this book. It is very intimidating and I don't know where to start. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's going to be hard, because I've seen so many images, it's going to be hard to try and do something different than what everyone else has done. So maybe I'll just have to make sure I don't look at anyone else's images of this for a while, and then hopefully that's gone out of my head. I've seen this one coloured in a lot of times. I've seen a lot of these coloured in, and they're beautiful coloured in. So I'm looking forward to getting into that. So thank you very much for watching my video. And if anybody out there wants to do a buddy colour in any of these books I've shown, please let me know, because I've never done a buddy colour before except with my little girl, and I would love to do it with somebody else. Okay, look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Okay, bye.